Right, so our last session is going to be facilitated by Madam Shirley Tony-Kum, Corporate Communications Manager, Vivo Energy Ghana, and she's speaking on top 10 communication strategies not to miss in building your business. Top 10 communication strategies not to miss in building your business.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. And I know you've been here since morning to this time, so I wouldn't waste much of your time. So most of you are wondering who is Vivo Energy Ghana. So I work for Vivo Energy Ghana. That's a Shell licensee. So when you see Vivo Energy, you see Shell, the filling station Shell, yes. So I work for them as the Corporate Communications Manager. I'm also the Honorary Secretary of the Institute of Public Relations Ghana, IPR. I'm sure you've heard about it. I'm happy to share with you some of the bits in communication. I wouldn't go by the topic because I want to start from the basics so that at least you know the key things. Before you go into the things you shouldn't miss, you need to know what communication, the importance of it for you as a business. So I'm sure when you start in the morning, it's all about communication. Why are we here? It's exchange of information, right? We are giving information, you're also asking questions, giving us feedback and all that. Communication is taking place. As a business, why is it so important? You should realize that in every business, you have to, or in communication, you have two key stakeholders. You have your internal stakeholders and you have your external stakeholders. So currently, I would consider, for instance, let me use our Best Farmers company or even ADB. The employees, your immediate employees, are your internal stakeholders. External stakeholders include your clients, your suppliers. Okay, all these people forms your external stakeholders, the regulators, the government. So for instance, where I sit, my external stakeholders include maybe in the oil marketing industry. My external stakeholders will include the NPAs, the EPA, the GSA, Ghana Standard Authority. So for instance, with you, external stakeholders will definitely include the Ministry of Agriculture, all the bodies or agencies that are into agriculture. So you need to actually define who your internal stakeholders. That is the first thing you need to do. Why is it important to engage them? It's very necessary because as a business or as a CEO, you are coming, you are growing up. You have a vision, right? For instance, where I sit, our vision is to become Africa's most respected energy business. That is the vision that has been set for the company. That is where we all want to be, okay? How then do we ensure that whatever we are doing taps into this vision? So you set your goals as an organization. How do you cascade this goal or this vision to your employees? That is where communication will come in place. Beginning of the year, I know you've set targets. I want to expand my business. I want to expand the piggery farm. I want to expand my plantation. That is your goals. How do you ensure that the employees, your internal stakeholders and external stakeholders are fully informed so that you're able to achieve this goal that you've set for yourself? Communication comes in there. Cascading the information down to the people, to your internal and external stakeholders. So in businesses, communication is very important in getting down your messages, your strategy, your goal to them so that they can all help achieve this objective. It's like you being the leader. If your people do not know where the organization is going, how then do they tap into it? Or how then do they help you to achieve your targets? So it's very important that you keep them informed. It's also important, it's both relationship. Being in an organization, of course, you're a CEO, okay? You go to your firm, I'm the boss, I'm this. But you need people to work with. If you don't have good interpersonal relationship with your employees, how then do they? They'll just be working. There's some people in organization, they just go to work and get their money. They don't have any relationship with the company. And if that happens, I bet you your business will suffer. The extra mile is not there. So but communication helps to build this relationship with the employees, with your teams. It helps with team bonding. This is very key for you. It also helps people to be innovative. If if you engage regularly with your employees or your external stakeholders, okay, especially with the internal people, it helps them to open up. After building that relationship, it helps them to open up, bring in suggestion. Oh, I think that, well, this problem that we are facing, I know a friend who faced some, I've read about it, I've researched about it. I think that when we do it this way, let's try this option. I mean, it gives room for the people to grow, to innovate, to be creative, and it helps your business. But if you're that bossy type, you don't engage, you think that I'm the CEO, I've set the target, you follow me or you stop. You're going to kill the ideas. Whatever they have, they sit on it. So it's better for you to engage regularly with your people, regularly with your internal and external stakeholders. Know your environment, environmental scanning, know your people, know what is happening in the industry. You can only get to know when you engage with your internal and external stakeholders. It's very necessary. And at the end of the day, they all help to do what? Build the company and to help to ensure growth of the company and productivity of the company. And I think that we should know is that as a business, so how do you then start? You should have a communication strategy. Businesses set goals. At the end of the day, maybe Agrihouse, we would want to expand our operations in 10 African countries. That is the goal, or the goal for the year that has been set by Madame Alberta Kosa. Okay? How then do we achieve this? He will sit down with his people. This is the goal. These are the actions that we'll do. Communication then comes in to ensure that this message is communicated down to the people for them to understand. For you have set a broader goal. You need to break them down to simple things for the people to understand. How then do we do it? So that they get the vision clearer, they get the idea clearer, and they can buy into it and also run with your vision. So you need to have a communication strategy. So that strategy is supposed to help to achieve the business goals. It uses communication to support in achieving business goals. After having that communication strategy, the communication strategy comes with the big goals. Then you develop a communication plan. Communication plan are the set of activities that will help you to achieve the communication strategy. So there are a number of activities. So if I want to expand, what are the things that I'll do? Maybe one. So maybe communicating the idea, or maybe there's a big lunch in there. What are the activities that I'll do to help achieve that big ticket items? So these are sub activities with clear timelines, key messages, objective, clear timelines, responsibility, expectation, and all those expected results. So it doesn't come in a vacuum. You draw the communication strategy, that's the bigger one, supporting the business goal. Then you develop the communication plan out of it. How are you going to achieve it? Clearly, maybe this month I'm going to do this month I'm going to do that, after this we are going to do that, so you have to do it. How do we? Then the last bit will be effective communication. How do you do it? As three, I call in project management. You plan communications, you manage communications, you monitor communication. So you may think that, oh, it's enough. January, we all do the business leadership conference, business meeting, cascading the goals, we are done with this. But how then do we ensure that we sustain this throughout? You need to plan communication. I've talked about it. It's not in a vacuum. You have the business strategy already. You build a communication strategy. You develop the communication plan. Make sure that all these are tying into the overall vision of the company. Then you manage communications. I've talked about internal and external stakeholders. Make sure that your shareholders, they know what is going on. Your internal stakeholders, they know what is going on. Everything. So you keep them informed so that there's a transparent process. You don't sit on information and assume that they should know. If you sit on information and you let them assume, they keep on making mistakes, and some mistakes can be costly. So you manage communications, ensure that the information that is going to understand, the expected results are coming out. Then you monitor communications. Make sure that whatever you set out to do in terms of communication activities, the desired result is coming. Look at it, evaluate it. Was that the expected result that I wanted to achieve? Or is giving me a different feedback? If it's giving you a different feedback, then now re-strategize. Look at your plan again. Maybe this one is not working. We are supposed to launch a product. We've launched it. Employees, we've done a town hall meeting. We've engaged employees. This is the new product you are bringing. You thinking that is enough? Employees, you are brand ambassadors. How do they know the product? You need to have a communication plan to make sure that these employees know the ins and outs about the product. If it's not being done, or you are getting different feedback, you get to know that through the monitoring stage. You look at it, maybe they are not understanding the technical terms of the thing, technicalities. For instance, me being here, if you tell me AG, what is it? I'm thinking it's agri student, for probably it's a different meaning. There are some people within the organization, it's a team dynamic. Not everybody, will respond to the way we want. Some people cannot talk in a group. Some people, the understanding level, but they will not open up. How then do you use communication to make sure that both employees or internal and external stakeholders understand what you mean, understand what you want to do, so that they can add the value that you need? Because communication is supposed to add value to the business, and without communication, businesses will not work. I bet you communicate day in and day out with your employees. Do this, do that, you are going to do this. If they don't understand, how then do you then achieve your plan or your objective? So communication is very important. I wouldn't bore you so much. So I've talked about, in a nutshell, you need to plan communications, you need to manage communications, and you need to monitor. If you wouldn't remember anything, remember these three: plan your communications, manage your communications, and monitor your communications so that you can be successful in your field of endeavors. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Madam Shelley. So PMM, plan, manage, monitor. Do you have any questions? Sorry. I know we are tired. Do you have any questions for Madam Shelley? Okay, so if you have any other question, like I was saying, there's a desk here. You could also write the question or whatever you want to know. We will send you through to Madam Shelley. Thank you very much. Okay, so what do I say? We've come to the end of day one. But I just want to take your thoughts, just in one sentence or two. How did you see today? Anyone? Your review of today's speakers, just in a sentence or two. Any volunteer? Oh, okay.
Okay, so today's session has been very educative, very interesting. I personally have learned a lot, especially from the mentors, and I'm willing to network.
Great. I saw other hands up.
Yeah, also Dufia, and I'll say today's session has been uplifting and insightful, and we look forward to more interesting sessions. Thank you.
All right, uplifting. Okay.